Week 3 of the Premier League brought to an end the introduction stage of the new season. We now take a bit of a mini break now with international duties taking place, and we see the end of one of the most insane transfer windows in Prem history. But in week 3, in 10 matches, brought 26 goals, 6 pens and 7 strikes after the 80th minute mark. Favourites tumbled, promoted sides punched above their weight, and one outrageous free kick settled the headline fixture of the weekend. This week wasn't only about expected goals. It was about how possession doesn't matter, how pressing and set pieces tilted contests, and how clutch moments rewrote the script. The numbers behind the chaos reveal why week 3 felt different. Across the round, there were 7 goals scored in the last 10 minutes of games, and 5 of those directly changed the result. There were also 6 pens and a direct free kick goal. Upsets were seen everywhere. Bookmakers had City, Tottenham, and Villa as odds-on favourites, yet all 3 lost. Brighton's come-from-behind win against City featured only 36% possession from the hosts, but 7 shots on target to only 3 for Man City. Bournemouth conceded 61% of the ball to Spurs, yet recorded 20 shots to Spurs' 5, and West Ham were outpossessed 58% to 42 by Nottingham Forest, yet still produced 8 shots to Forest's 3 and scored 3 times after the 84th minute. These numbers tell us controlling the ball is only part of the story. Pressing intensity, transition efficiency, and dead ball execution were decisive this week. I'm Nini FC, and I'm bringing you what we learned this week in Premier League Week 3. The headline game of this weekend went to Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0, a chess match decided by a set piece. The marquee match of this weekend that brought the most hype, the most excitement, produced just one moment of quality to decide this game. Arsenal entered Anfield determined to neutralise Liverpool's attack. For the most part, they succeeded. Liverpool had a lot to play for. They're reigning champions. At the moment, they're facing a few injuries at the back, with Dominic Szoboszlai surprising everyone by starting the game as a right back. Over 90 minutes, Liverpool edged possession 53% to 47%, showcasing how tight and cagey this chess match was. From shots produced, Arsenal mustered 11, but Liverpool only had 3 shots on target compared to Arsenal's 1. So moments for each team striker to get involved in Ekitike and Gyökeres were essentially non-existent, with both teams nullifying each other's attack. Liverpool earned just 3 corners to Arsenal's 8, reflecting how hard fought it was to get any type of in-game advantage in this game, and Liverpool managed only 2 first-half shots, and that was their fewest in a Prem game at home since October 2021. Arsenal press kept Liverpool quiet for long stretches. Both teams mustered a mid-block setup against each other, cutting out passing lanes, looking to overload each other in midfield. It was a tight, contested battle in the centre of the field, which meant that most attacking chances came in moments of isolation. Arsenal's press was so diligent that Mohamed Salah didn't register his first shot in the game until the 73rd minute, having one of his quietest games in recent times. But the game turned on a dead ball, and in the 83rd minute, Zubamendi fouled Curtis Jones 30 metres out, and in stepped Dominic Szoboszlai, redeployed as the right back under Arne Slot, who curled in a stunning, exquisite Ronaldo free kick over the wall and beyond David Raya. That was the only shot of the game worth more than 0.1 expected goals. Szoboszlai reeled in his post-match duties that this wasn't even one of his best free kicks he's scored. Yeah, you want to see them? See those goals he scored for Hungary and at Salzburg. But Liverpool's backline restricted Arsenal to a single shot on target and just 7 fouls, while Arsenal's 8 corners produced absolutely nothing. The win kept Liverpool perfect and extended Arsenal's long winless run at Anfield. Brighton 2, Man City 1. Possession isn't everything. City's trip to the Amex illustrated the limits of possession. Guardiola's side dominated the ball with 64%, but produced just 12 shots and 3 on target. Brighton, on the other hand, with their 36%, managed 12 shots themselves, but crucially hit the target 7 times. It showcases that Man City are still vulnerable to counter-attacking moments, especially as they continue to deploy Núñez as their makeshift right back. City attempted 615 passes to Brighton's 353, yet Brighton's vertical transitions were a lot more effective, and it showcases a growing weakness that Guardiola has to fix at Man City that was first seen during the Club World Cup. City are still susceptible to vertical transitions, counter-attacks in behind. The gaps between their midfield and defense are too far apart. Defenders used at the back aren't 1v1 specialists, and most times they aren't executing their use of an offside trap. Yet as the game started, City had some of the best chances, with Erling Haaland tapping in on the 34th minute. But that was then later nullified by 39-year-old James Milner, who equalised from the spot, becoming the Premier League's oldest penalty scorer. But the moment of the game went to last summer's signing in Brajan Gruda, who latched onto a long ball in the 89th minute, with Brighton regularly showcasing threat on the counter-attack. His moment moment shine through when he rounded James Trafford, showing excellent composure under pressure to chop the ball to the opposite direction before tapping in the winner. The data emphasizes how Brighton executed their plan. They forced 5 saves from Trafford, recorded multiple second half dribbles that broke City's lines for fun, and found repeated passes into the final third. City created only one big chance despite all the ball, conceded twice for minimal touches inside the box after the 80th minute, and with City wobbling in late game states, questions about the control under pressure are going to get louder now, because Brighton's win showcased a willingness to trust youth and attack the spaces the instant they appeared. Forest 0, West Ham 3. A late blitz defies the numbers. On paper, Forest did many things right. They had most of the ball with 58%. They had a respectable amount of shots on goal with 11 and won 9 corners. They kept West Ham to just 4 total first half shots, producing the lowest first half expected goals in a league match this season. Yet it was West Ham somehow who sat deep, who stayed resilient, who limited Forest to just 3 shots on target, and they waited for their moments. And that moment arrived in the 84th minute when Jarrod Bowen sneaked in at the far post, and within 5 minutes, Lucas Paqueta converted a penalty, and Callum Wilson then added the third. There could have been more fireworks for West Ham as Jarrod Bowen went on an incredible solo run, only for his teammate in Callum Wilson to get in the way as he was about to pop his shot off them. West Ham managed only 8 shots on target from just 12 attempts and forced 5 saves with Matt Turner. Forest, by contrast, wasted their set pieces. 9 is respectable, but they only yielded 1 shot from them. In the end, Graham Potter gets the final say. He went into this game looking like a new man with his new trim. He hailed the 3-0 win as the first brick in the wall. West Ham have strengthened quite reasonably in the market right now. They've kept their star man, Lucas Paqueta, who kissed the badge, committing himself to the West Ham fans. Are things starting to turn around for West Ham? Can Graham Potter keep West Ham in the Premier League this season? Tottenham 0, Bournemouth 1. Pressing over possession leads to results. Tottenham were another team who enjoyed possession and completed more than 500 passes, yet they offered incredibly little attacking threat compared to Bournemouth, who with their aggressive press forced Spurs into long balls, turnovers, allowing the visitors to fire 20 shots with 6 on target. Bournemouth controlled the proceedings tactically, forced Spurs to play the game they wanted to play today, and the ever-impressive Semenyo could become the next future big money sell for Bournemouth if he continues his incredible start to the new season. Bournemouth bullied Spurs, committing plenty of fouls, disrupting their game, picking up bookings. They got in the heads of Spurs players, allowing them to win the physical duels that mattered on the field. They also earned 8 corners to Spurs' none, showing how willing they were to be direct and attack the flanks. The decisive moment came early. A long diagonal ball found Evanilson, whose deflected effort looped over Vicario, and they took the lead in the 5th minute. Spurs showed no reaction. They lacked ideas. They looked incredibly one-dimensional, forcing all their play to the right-hand side and spamming crosses with overloads. Areola predicted this, and Bournemouth did incredibly well to disrupt and nullify Spurs' use of the ball. Thomas Frank admitted that after his first defeat that his team didn't perform well and were unsettled by Bournemouth with their direct balls and second ball battles. This game highlighted how Spurs lack physicality in the middle of the field. Could that be something that bites them in the arse as the season goes on? With just 2 goals in 3 games, the Spurs' early optimism is starting to fade now. Chelsea 2, Fulham 0, VAR drama but control dominance. Chelsea maintained their unbeaten start to the new season with a hard-fought win against a resolute and well-respected Fulham team. It was a very cagey game. It was an intense midfield battle, and in the 15th minute, new signing and Liam Delap hobbled off the field with a suspected hamstring injury. This forced Maresca to turn towards using Tyree George up front, allowing Joao Pedro, Chelsea's new talisman, to continue playing as a 10. The game went back and forth, with Fulham having some of the better chances, with the controversial moment of the game coming right in the middle of the first half when young Joshua King had his first Prem goal ruled out in his career at 18 years old due to a controversial VAR decision. But on the other hand, Muniz gained an unfair advantage by fouling Chalobah to be able to set up that pass to Joshua King. VAR took its time making that decision correct, and boy did it take its time. In this game, there was 16 minutes worth of added time in each half due to the time needed to ensure the right decision was made. From that moment onwards, the game became quite cagey, with both teams wrestling possession back from each other, but Chelsea bided their time and slowly grew into things as the first half was ending, waiting for Fulham to tire, who were pressing aggressively for second balls and pushing up the field. And as they tired, Chelsea started to dominate on the ball. And the big moment came right before the start of the first half, with Joao Pedro scoring yet again in consecutive games with another headed effort. He's really become a talisman at Chelsea this season, and probably the best signing they made in a long window. In the second half, Chelsea were able to control the game even further, this time getting another early set piece going their way, with a penalty won in their favour and more VAR controversy coming. Enzo Fernandez stepped up and converted from the spot, and Chelsea controlled the second half to gain 3 valuable points against a very difficult Fulham team. Man United 3, Burnley 2. Man United just about sealed the game in the dying seconds. They started incredibly fast and incredibly tense in that first half. They thought in the 6th minute they won a penalty courtesy of Mason Mount, but after a VAR decision, it was decided that Mount, in fact, had fouled Kyle Walker instead of Walker pulling Mount's shirt down. The early pen decision was a warning sign to Burnley that United were ready to blitz them, but was this strategy what hurt them in the second half? United's first goal of the game came courtesy of an own goal from Josh Cullen, as Casemiro's header from point-blank range crashed off the crossbar from a Bruno Fernandes free kick. The second half begins. Burnley push up, Foster equalising from an excellent cross after poor communication from De Ligt, and Dalot allows for an easy delivery unmarked. But United, feeling the fans on their side, react fast. Dalot wins this battle, plays a beautiful cutback cross inside the box, and big money signing in Bremo makes it 2-1 for Man United, scoring his first for them. But it wasn't over there, as Burnley reacted 10 minutes later. A long throw from Kyle Walker produced chaos inside the box. United don't control the proceedings, and Jadon Anthony makes it 2-2. With United showing promise, but allowing Burnley to come back twice in this game, all hope was lost until the decision in the final seconds, as Amad Diallo is brought down inside the box, and in steps Bruno Fernandes on the 90th minute plus 7-minute mark, as he steers his penalty expertly into the bottom left corner to take 3 vital points for Manchester United. Question marks are still hovering around Amorim after their controversial defeat to Grimsby in the Carabao Cup. For Amorim, taking 3 points before international break is something to work with, as he'll take all the points he can in what could be a very interesting and potentially complicated season for himself at United this season. Aston Villa 0, Crystal Palace 3. Mark Guehi steals the show. Villa's 19-game home unbeaten run was shattered by an efficient Crystal Palace side. Another team to dominate possession, Villa had 58% compared to Crystal Palace's 42. Mustered 13 shots but only 4 on target, with 10 corners yielding nothing. Palace took just 6 shots but 4 were on target and 3 found the net. The match hinged on set pieces and ruthlessness, with Philip Mateta converting a penalty. He dropped deep, found Kamada in behind, with Kamada being brought down inside the box. Mateta steps up, converts, and gives Crystal Palace the early lead away from home. Aston Villa found it difficult to get back. They nearly equalised with new signing Gusson coming close, but Palace did not stop. And in the second half, the moment of the game was won by Mark Guehi, who receives the ball just outside the box, opens his body up, and produces an excellent curling effort as if he was a striker who scored this goal 1,000 times. And their third goal came courtesy from another long throw, a near post flick on, and the illustrious Sarr converting with a header to make it 3. Palace had their game plan to win their duels in midfield, completed plenty of progressive passes to release tackers in behind in the final third, and they blocked key efforts and drew fouls to disrupt Aston Villa's rhythm. Now Emery pointed to distractions and vowed to regroup. It's been a very interesting window for Aston Villa. However, Palace reacted beautifully after losing their star man in Eze to Arsenal, and it seems like they are a different team after finding themselves in Europe and winning back-to-back silverware. Sunderland 2, Brentford 1. Belief and a baby. Promoted Sunderland came back from behind to beat Brentford in a game of moments. Sunderland had 54% possession, 12 shots, 3 on target. Brentford had 7 with 4 on goal. Corners were shared evenly, as well as the bookings piling up. Brentford missed a penalty. Brentford thought they took the early lead, with new signing Utara from Bournemouth racing through on goal from a counter-attack and dispatching perfectly with his left foot. However, his run was timed just offside. That moment gave Brentford confidence, and not long after that, they won a penalty, with Brazilian striker Igor brought down inside the box. However, another moment to capitalise on failed yet again, with Sade hitting a tame effort straight on goal towards the keeper. But Brentford still had confidence on their side. They looked to push forward, and they were finally rewarded with the opening goal of the game, with a beautiful cross to the far post directed beautifully by big Brazilian Igor. Brentford rightfully deserved to take the lead. However, Sunderland looked like a different team in the second half. They applied the pressure, they switched things up tactically, they played more direct, and their big moment to equalise in the game came with another penalty decision, with their player brought down inside the box, and new midfield signing in Enzo Lefebvre stepping up from the pen spot, holding his nerves and expertly playing the ball away from the keeper. This was the moment that Sunderland needed, that brought their fans back into the game, and from that point forwards, the confidence was back in Sunderland's game. A direct pass to the left-hand side found Enzo Lefebvre, who held the ball up expertly, shielding it, playing his teammate back in, and an early delivery bringing another result for Sunderland. Sunderland, with last season's top scorer in Isidore scoring the match-winning goal. Sunderland are showing that with intelligent investment, they might be one of the surprise packages of this new season. Everton 3, Wolves 2. Jack Grealish is loving life at the Bramley Moor door. Everton look like a completely rejuvenated team. New stadium, new energy, new players. And they recorded yet again another impressive victory. Everton and Wolves shared 10 and 12 shot attempts with 4 on target for each team. Jack Grealish, Everton's on-loan City talisman, provided 2 assists in this game to continue his renaissance. And it's a reminder that certain big players like Grealish do benefit more from being the big fish at a small pond. Everton scored the first goal in the 7th minute, with Beto scoring yet again another headed effort after Jack Grealish steers the ball with a header across goal. Everton look quite compact, they look quite strong. At Wolves' ability to tie the game after a superb first-time cross into the box produced the equalising goal from Hwang, but Everton reacted very fast, and one of the exciting players of this season, in Ndiaye, found himself escaped on the far post after more involvement from Jack Grealish brought yet again more chaos inside that Wolves box. In the second half, the moment of the game came courtesy of new signings and Dewsbury Hall and Grealish combining beautifully, with Grealish carrying the ball, playing a deft little pass over the top to find Dewsbury Hall, and Dewsbury Hall hits a first-time scissor finish away from Wolves' goalkeeper, making it 3-1. Yet again, Everton got punished for more sloppy defending from crosses. Wolves scoring an identical goal in the first half, this time Gomez making it 3-2, producing a nervy moment at the end of the game. Much work will be needed from David Moyes to ensure defensive concentration with defending wide deliveries. However, Everton look like a team with imagination, new purpose, and a lot of fun and threat with their attacking play, led by one of the exciting signings of this summer in Jack Grealish. Leeds 0, Newcastle 0. If week 3 is about chaos, Eden Run offered the most calmest game of week 3, with both Leeds and Newcastle combining for just 18 shot attempts with 3 on target each. Newcastle seem to be a team on the thin end right now. They had no Anthony Gordon to turn to, and their 5-3-2 setup had Murphy and Osula playing up front together. So it's no surprise why they lacked attacking threat. They'll be hoping the introduction of Voltemada after international break ends will bring forth more attacking impetus and purpose, as he has the unfortunate role of being the replacement for Alexander Isak, who completed a mega money Prem record move to Liverpool on deadline day. It's been a difficult window for Newcastle, where they failed with many attempts to improve the quality of their squad, and even though their desire is still there, their work rate is still there, their professionalism is still there, they're a team that are waiting for the introduction of more in attack, and more patience will be needed with summer recruits hopefully aiding the cause. Former Newcastle man and new Leeds signing in Sean Longstaff stood out with 5 tackles and 8 duels won to help Leeds earn a respectable 1 point against Newcastle. So that was all the games this week, but what exactly did we learn in match week 3? 1. Clutch moments define this league. 5 matches were decided after 80 minutes, late subs and lapses of concentration, outsized impacts. Brighton, West Ham, Sunderland, Man United and Liverpool all seized points in the dying stages. 2. Possession without penetration is futile. Forest, Spurs, City dominating the ball, but being punished by teams that press aggressively and attack the spaces. Bournemouth mustered 20 shots to Spurs' 5. West Ham's 8 shots on target from 42% possession, one of their lowest of the season. Brighton's 7 shots on goal from only 36 possession. Directness and precision trump ball retention. 3. Set pieces and dead balls are decisive. 6 pens and a direct free kick shaped this round. Szoboszlai's world-class free kick winner for Liverpool and penalties converted by Milner, Keta, Mateta, Lefay and Fernandes underline the value of set-piece work. And 4. Don't ignore the human stories. Isidore scoring hours after becoming a father. Milner's record-breaking setting penalty scored at 39 years old. Gaze won the goal. So heading into week 4 after international break, the table is unusually bunched and the traditional hierarchy is looking vulnerable at the moment. If this week taught us anything, it's that no lead is safe, and no favourite is invincible once the clock hits the 80th minute. So buckle up, boys. The Premier League is on hiatus for a little bit, but expect there to be more exciting developments to return once we get back for match week 4. So make sure you guys stay locked in on Nini FC, as I'll be breaking down everything we learned in the Premier League this season.